Welcome to our next lecture, assigning permissions by groups. Let's move straight into it. Now, when you're thinking about IAM, there are two broad categories to consider: identities and permissions. Now, identities refer to the various mechanisms that AWS provides to identify who is requesting a particular AWS action or authenticating that person or entity, and for organizing similar entities into groups. This topic includes IAM users and groups, credentials, and roles. Now, permissions refer to what a particular identity is allowed to do in the AWS account. Permissions are managed by writing identity-based policies, which are collections of statements. In this course, we will concentrate on permissions. As we already know, IAM groups are a cornerstone of AWS identity and access management, designed to streamline permission assignments for multiple users. By grouping users with similar roles, you can assign permissions once to the group, ensuring consistency and reducing administrative overhead. In this presentation, we're going to focus on how IAM groups enable efficient and secure permission management, covering key concepts, practical steps, and best practices. And we're going to have a demonstration at the end where we'll go into the AWS console for a real life demonstration. Permissions in AWS IAM define what actions users or groups can perform on specific resources. They're managed by JSON policies through JSON documents that specify allowed or denied actions. IAM groups also allow you to attach these policies to a group, granting permissions to all its members. Okay, so now we're going to get into some more practical and more fun stuff. And we're going to set up some permissions in IAM groups. Now, to assign permissions, we need to create an IAM group in the AWS Management Console and name it based on the role, like S3 read-only. And we need to attach policies during or after the creation. We're going to do it during the creation and use AWS Manage policies for common tasks. And you can create your own custom policies for specific needs. As this is just a beginner's course, we are going to concentrate on just using an AWS Manage policy. You remember back to our IAM groups. In this example, we have developer group with Susan in it, security group with Dave, and we are going to set up another group, and I'm going to call that group document readers, for a group of people that are going to join the organization, and we only want to give them access to be able to read documents in an S3 bucket. We don't want them to be able to put documents in there or write to documents, only read. So once we make that group, we're going to tie a policy to it, and the policy will be an Amazon Manage policy, and it'll be called Amazon S3 read-only access. So let's go away and do that now. So here I am in the IAM dashboard, and one thing to note is if you log into your IAM dashboard, have a quick look at the security recommendations, and hopefully you have a 0 like I do. If you don't, I would recommend first thing you need to do is go away and fix any issues you have in that department. So let's click on user groups And as you can see, I have a couple of user groups already named. One is billing, one is sysadmin. We're going to create another group. So we click on create group, and we're not going to add any users to the group at the moment. So we're going to enter a group name. Now I said document readers. I have just realized that needs to be one, cannot have spaces. So I'm going to name it document readers. And as I said, we're not going to attach any users to the group. It's going to make the group, and then we're going to come down here and have a look at our permissions policies. And as I discussed before, we're going to add a AWS manage policy, S3 read only, but you can type in here S3 and it should come up with the various S3 permission policies. And if we scroll down here, see read only access, and that's the one we want. Open that up and maybe just have a quick look at this. I'm not going to go and explain it in depth, but that's the basic JSON policy that will be tied to this group. Now you could go away and write your own policies, as I said in the previous slide, but for the sake of this exercise, we are just going to use this S3 read-only access, which is an Amazon managed policy. So if we close that and we click on there to select, oh no, I've selected the wrong one, the Outpost read-only, sorry. Read-only access, and then we create the user group down here, bottom right corner. Creates a group, and there it is. Okay, and you see the little hazard sign here basically means there is no user attached, and to attach a user, it's as simple as clicking on group name and adding a user. Pick one of your users to add. Okay, so we're going to go back now to the slide pack. Okay, so we're back here at our demo screen, and I've corrected the error where I named that document reader with a space, and it's now document readers. We've set up an IAM group and we've attached a policy to it, permissions policy, Amazon S3 read-only access. So this is how you should set up your users in groups. Do not just set up users ad hoc without attaching them to a group, and the group needs to have a permissions policy. Now users can belong to multiple IAM groups. So for instance, if Susan wanted to also be included in security, she could be added there. She would be in both groups and hence have both sets of permissions. Okay, hope you enjoyed that one, and I'm going to wrap it up and